Hey Victoria, this is March 13th, 2014, and I'm gonna finally talk about Night Vale. So last Friday, I took my trip up to Atlanta, Georgia for the Night Vale show, and that was really cool. I got up at 6:45 that morning, which was really not that cool, and I was on the road at 7, and then spent way too long in a car driving to Gainesville. Put everything back in my dorm from the break, and then I had to go to Radio Shack, but then there wasn't a Radio Shack, but then there was, but then Radio Shack didn't have the battery pack I needed for my camera. So I had to go to some other place. Then we picked up Christian, and then we went to Atlanta. Atlanta's a really long drive, and most of that drive, on the way up there, it felt like most of the drive was just being in Florida, but on the way back, it felt like most of that drive was like, you're still in Georgia. No, you still haven't left Georgia yet. Yes, you're still in Georgia. But the Florida drive wasn't too bad. It was actually really pretty. There's a lot of really nice land between here and Atlanta. But Atlanta, the traffic, the only place I can even equate it to is Miami. But it's still not as bad as Miami. Miami is like, and it's crazy, and nobody knows how to drive in Atlanta or any part of Georgia. And it was really cold. It was surprisingly cold. I didn't know it was going to be that cold, but it was cool. We got to Atlanta, and then we parked our car, and then we proceeded to wait for 2.5 hours in line, which was a really long time to wait, but it didn't actually feel that long. It was just like 2.5 hours. Like, we spent like 30 minutes outside and got dinner at like Jimmy John's, and then we were like inside for an hour. Actually, we were outside for an hour, inside for an hour, and then inside the theater pavilion actually waiting like for the show to start for like half an hour. We were 4 rows away from the actual stage. It was really cool. And then they had a music group perform. I don't know the name of the music group, but they were really cool. They were like really hipster indie group, and I really liked them a lot. I have a CD that I will steal from people and make people listen to it, and I'll put a link when I get the name for them again. But yeah, I don't have any footage of the concert because they kindly asked us not to take footage of the concert, so there's that. But it was really good, and I know they're eventually going to release it on podcast, and so I highly recommend you get the podcast. Unfortunately, Dylan is not actually in it, so no Carlos that was actually there. They had Carlos in the thing. It was cute. It was cute. But they had a special voice there. I don't want to say who it is because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But they brought in a couple extra voices, and it was really, really cool. We got to meet the woman who talks at the end of it, like, today's proverb is, and all that. She was really cool. Unfortunately, they didn't have them out at the end or anything, like you get to talk to them. I was kind of sad because I really wanted to, like, meet Cecil and just be like, I love you! I love you! But yeah. But it was still really amazing, and I had a lot of fun. And then after the show, we were all exhausted and went to Mellow Mushroom, which was really weird. And it's really expensive hipster pizza. That's all I can say. But it wasn't bad. And then we were in a hotel and proceeded to drive back for 5 hours again the next day. So I was in a car with somebody for like 10 hours and around them for many more hours. And I'm surprised they didn't want to kill me by the end of it. But Night Vale was amazing, and being around all the people was great. And there were people there who were cosplaying. Oh, there were people there who were cosplaying. Oh my gosh. They had a Cecil and a Carlos, and the Cecil had tentacles. Like, the tentacles, I'm like, ah! And they posed for a picture for me, and they were really cute. And I really wish I'd actually cosplayed. Like, I kind of casually cosplayed, and it was really lame. But I wish I'd actually cosplayed. But on that note, I'm cosplaying next weekend. I don't have my cosplay done. Yeah, so quietly crying about that in the inside. But yeah, that was Night Vale. It was fun. I'm sorry I'm late. I don't have video footage or pictures, and so it's just me recounting it. But it was awesome, and I liked everyone I got to be there with, and the drive was fun, and it was cool. I definitely recommend going to see Night Vale if you have the chance to go see Night Vale, because it was so worth it. Like, the people they put on a great show, and they're very courteous, and the people there at the actual show were so nice, and they were like, nobody got mad at each other. The people who like Night Vale are awesome. So that's it. I love you, Victoria. I will hear from you tomorrow, and I'll talk to you again on Monday. Goodbye.